venturing into World 3 again, because I did actually record the entire... Printer, would you shut up? Silly printer. Anyway, I did actually record this entire game in one night like I said that I would. However, I wasn't too pleased with my commentary for about the second half of the game. Sometimes recording everything in one night is a bad idea. I ran out of things to say, because I always just say what's on my mind, and whenever I'm tired enough, I don't have anything on my mind. My brain's battery just dies, more or less. So here we are again, in a fun snow level. This is the snow level that was the reason for my playing this around Christmas time. Unfortunately, I didn't get to this level in time for Christmas, and I don't know exactly when it's gonna go up, but we'll see. I mean, it's still winter time, so it's good enough, hopefully. I do enjoy this level. I don't really like the ice slides very much. The main thing about those is that you slide down them once, and then there's no way to get back up to slide again. And there are things on a couple of slides. Just one... I think it's one... Well, no. I don't know if it's one red crystal and one golden statue piece, or if it's just two golden statue pieces. I hear... Even though I recorded this game once already, I've forgotten where some things are. The Angler Mangler's weak point. Oh yeah, I remember the Angler Manglers. They are interesting. I remember having the hardest time figuring out how to beat them my first time playing this. It turns out that it's not especially difficult, it's just you do this. You ground pound under their angler light, whatever you would call that. Because apparently, whenever you ground pound, or you pile drive an enemy into the ground, it has a wide vertical, not wide, like a very tall vertical attack range. I don't know if the game ever actually explains this or not. It probably does in one of the Spriteling's tips, but I just wouldn't know. And it explodes. Now this is one of the ice slides that I am very concerned about. I think I might be able to cheese this one a little bit. Oh crap, nope! Oh well, I'll have to come back for that later. Oh good, it's a battle arena. Can I avoid it? Probably not. Nope. Oh well. So, I discovered, wow, look at that slowdown. That is an excellent slowdown. I discovered in the time that I was away from this game and debating about whether I should re-record the rest of it or not, that I have more stories about this game than I realized I did. So it's probably a good idea that I re-record it anyway, just because I get to tell more stories. Can we fix that camera? Thank you. And I figured out a lot of Wario specifically, Wario-related stories, and one of those happens to be snow-related, so I will tell that one first. As I've mentioned, I used to make lots of instruction booklets for myself, or player's guides, not really instruction booklets, just for the fun. And one of them that I started making, I don't know if I ever actually finished it. I think it was just the front cover that I made. And the front cover was something like a Nintendo snowboarding game. Basically, it was just 1080... I think the most recent game that I'd played was 1080 Avalanche, and so I just made a cover sort of like that, except with Mario characters. By the way, these icicle things are cool. I don't really like dealing with them, but I think the idea is cool, that you slam them into the ground and they serve as platforms. So, I made this cover. I don't know what the game was called that I made up, but I just remember that I had Wario pretty much in the dead center of the player's guide, even though he wasn't supposed to be the main character, and Mario was like this ghost on the side because he was partly transparent, and I don't know why I did it this way. I wanted Mario to be the big main character, but it didn't really work out that way, the way that I drew it. So my brother pointed this out, and Now I think about that sometimes, since that's how I learned that the positioning of things on a page actually has some bearing on, like, what you perceive as important. And then I remembered telling someone in school, like, they were doing some artwork and they didn't know exactly how to compose a page. So I told them basically exactly what my brother told me. Hey, you know, whenever you have something closer to the center of the page, people are going to interpret that part as more important or more central. And I think they were basically calling me a know-it-all after that. I don't know. It was a minor point, but just something I remember. Okay, can I hit that switch? Throw this innocent little turtle that was hiding under an iceberg until now? Alright, that's good. This half of the level is not as fun as the above-ground half. I don't even know if it's really half of the level, because it's a pretty expansive second half. I have a few more WarioWare or Wario World related stories. Another one would be, well, because I'm recording this after I've already made the end slate for the LP, I now know that it's going to be just the Wario picture that I drew for Mario Meets Kirby, an animation that I did a while back. It is just that. And my story with that is, well, pretty much just that. I made an animation called Mario Meets Kirby, and there was a point when I had to draw Wario in his throne room. I can't remember if the story that I based that animation on actually mentioned Wario's castle. I think it might have just mentioned the throne room without actually saying where the throne room is. So I just had to guess, like, it's probably Wario's castle. Now, where have I seen Wario's castle before? Yeah, the Faddingtons. Those... they're good enemies. I don't like them, actually. They have a good name, though. So I found a picture of the Wario World title screen, and kinda had to guess on a bunch of details, because a lot of it was hidden behind the title. And also a lot of it was pretty blurry, so... yeah, that was a weird animation to make. It took frickin' forever, because I lost motivation partway through. Alright, I like these rooms in this level are so cozy and wonderful. I love the lighting. The way that Wario has a big shadow whenever you're close to the fire and a little one whenever you're close to the wall. It's so cool. He has super long stretched legs here. I don't know, it's fun. It's a nice, like I said, cozy atmosphere. So that's another Wario story. Then there was this one time when, like, I was apparently really a big fan of this game whenever I was first messing around with it and playing with it, because there came a point when I really wanted to, well, pretty much everything that I wanted to do with animation was super ambitious for no reason, even though a lot of the time I, like, put ambition places where it really didn't belong. Like, I always wanted to make something big. I wanted to make everything big, even if I had no ideas. And one of the things that I had virtually no ideas for was an animation made out of a Wario song that I write and sing and compose myself. And I don't really remember the song very well. I'm just gonna punch it and fall into the Unithorn's lair. We have to see it eventually. It's very welcome that it is covered in snow and not ice, so we don't have to deal with ice physics. Because that would be a pain in the buttocks, which Warios are very large. Oh, come on, Switch. You gotta be around here. Oh, yeah, there we go. Not Switch, Spring. Springing back into action once again. That's a Faddington. Its colors remind me of something, and I don't know what. Just that pink and blue. Maybe it reminds me of, like Well, it could be bubblegum, but that's not really a bubblegum color exactly. Not that shade of pink. Whatever, never mind. Maybe Laffy Taffy. Alright, so I was writing this Wario song. I intended to have sort of this big brass band background music to accompany it. Like, that was the instrumentation that I wanted to go for, but I didn't know how to do that. And then I quickly realized that I don't have a very good Wario voice. So I kind of ditched that idea eventually. Even though I had an entire song written out. I might have the lyrics somewhere, but I looked one time and I didn't find them, so I might not still have them. All I remember is basically something like, "'Cause I'm Wario, 400 pounds of pure muscle and bone. I'm the greatest treasure hunter this world's ever known. Yes, I know!" And that's pretty much it. Honestly, I think it would have been a good song if everything came together with it. But, it's not really worth the time. And another battle arena. Oh, and we have a Faddington. These enemies don't seem like they would be enemies that you can defeat, because you just bounce off of them. They almost seem like hazards instead of enemies. But, apparently they can be defeated. Wario must be really, really strong, because, well, I mean, it's obvious he's very strong if he can pick up pillars and huge enemies like it's nothing, but at the same time, how did he get this way? Does Wario exercise? Does Wario lift a bunch of weights? Or is this, like, his superpower? Because I don't get the impression that he does a lot of exercising. It's hard to say. He's just kind of an enigma. And eat the coins. Eat the coins. Eat the coins. Maybe he does a lot of exercising and that's just, you know, the only reason he's fat is because he eats money all the time. This music's fun. I'm glad that we're back into the outdoorsy section. It's not really very outdoorsy. I mean, well, it is, but I don't know, I always picture outdoorsy as a word that you say when camping on a spring or summer day. And this is neither of those. Okay. I don't know what these enemies are. They're kind of inexplicable. Because their heads sort of look like... well, their heads basically look like bowling balls. Oh, and now I'm thinking of another story. Not a very... like, it's a story that relates to me, but it's not really about me. It's part of my traditional animation class, or my 2D animation class, even though it covered a number of things, was, we had a final project where we had to make a group animation that was basically the intro to a show. It didn't necessarily have to be an animated show. It just had to be an intro that was for some show that didn't exist, and we had to make our own characters and stuff. And we were given we were shown an example of what kind of thing that we could be making from a previous class. Oh wait, I have to... I know there's something here, but I don't know where to... oh, no! I'm gonna have to redo those. It's gonna be not a fun time. Oh well. Yeah, I just recall... oh yeah, this is the mini level that I saw from the screenshot on the back of the box. It looks exactly as I expected, more or less. And it is still pretty cool looking. Oh, the Winter Windster, I forgot about him. Yeah, he's really... it's the strangest boss in the game. Easily the strangest. There's so much stuff that I missed. I know that there was at least one whole area that I completely bypassed. So we're going to be going through this level again. Careful. Easy does it. Easy does it. No! Okay, good. Got it. And I think if I stay on the top here and jump at the right time... No, wait, that's the wrong position. Maybe it's a different ice slide that I'm thinking of. Oh well. I still haven't hit that blue switch wherever that is. I think I know where it is, I just... Oh man, this level gets confusing. So, to continue my story, one of the example animations that we were shown by a different group in a different class was the adventures of Vomit Boy and Bowling Ball Head Guy. It was very stupid, which it was supposed to be, so they did a good job. I enjoy Bowling Ball Head Guy, especially since the theme song basically went... well, it didn't have any lyrics, it just says the title of the show at one point, and the way it says this is Vomit Boy and Bowling Ball Head Guy! Like that's just kind of tacked on at the last second. Okay, there's one of the treasures that I need. Yes, I need it. It's absolutely necessary. Up here might be... No, Faddington. Faddington? I'm getting flashbacks from, like, Yoshi's Island DS, because of all those stupid pink balls in that one ice level. How conveniently correlated to the place that we're in right now. Yeah, this is an area that I haven't been to yet, and it's dumb, because this is, like, my favorite part of the stage right here. It's just this little tucked away area where, in the middle of this icy cavern, you're able to go outside, and it's a nice little reprieve, I guess. Okay, I need to get up there somehow. Or I need something to get up there. No, why'd you disappear on me? No spontaneous combustion while I'm trying to carry you. Okay, there you go. That's all I needed. And I guess I will just meet you on another section of the stage. Here we are at the last slide. Okay, good. I did it. These slides are not very friendly to me. Okay, now I can go to the bye-bye balloon and say bye-bye to all these creatures, except for that one. That was good. I know that one of these slides makes it possible to get to an area that you wouldn't otherwise be able to access, but I don't know which one it is. Oh, and I haven't even been here yet. Goodness, I have overlooked so much. It's gonna be a longer video than I thought it would be. But that's fair enough. So, I guess, while I'm thinking about the animation class, I could talk about the actual final project that we did in that class. Because my group and I, we didn't totally finish what we were setting out to do, but we still did something pretty close. Basically, our animation that we did was about, well, it was the intro to a show about a normal guy who lives with a superhero and a supervillain, because they are his roommates. And I think I unintentionally had the greatest impact on the project, because I made the storyboard. I designed at least one of the characters, which that's not really like a sign of me doing more work than everyone else, but it's just another addition of what I did. And I did a lot of the animation earlier than pretty much anyone else did. So, oh yep, one of these guys. My favorite. Yeah, but because I got a lot of animation done, or actually all of my my animation done, which I animated the normal guy, that was my job, everyone kind of based their animation off of what I did, more or less. Like, I set the scenes and everything. And also, I was the one who came up with the name of the show that ended up sticking, which was My Zoomy Roomies. I am happy with that name. They weren't sure about it at first, but then they saw the logo that I made, and it worked. So, that was a fun time. I liked that class. How do I get up there? Is there a reason to get up there? I cannot recall. Maybe I'm supposed to get over... Okay. Go to the right first. I like the wintertime. This is not really a new thing for me to talk about, but it's something that I haven't talked about in a while. It's just my favorite season is definitely the winter. And my reasoning... Like, I think I mentioned this way back in the Banjo-Kazooie LP, which has another fine ice level, but... I wish that summertime and wintertime had their school/work breaks reversed, because I like the cold weather. I like the... Well, that's about it. I like the cold weather. Something about the Christmas air, the Christmassy chill in the air, just inspires me like nothing else does. I can't exactly describe it. I think that's everything up there. I have more Wario-related stories, but I think maybe I should save that for next time, because, if I'm not mistaken, the next level is my least favorite level by far. So, it's gonna be good. Man. Okay, now that I'm shimmying around on these icicles, it's making me think of Sonic Adventure. Specifically the Ice Cap stage. As is appropriate. It's the one that you would expect to have icicles. Because in that game, Sonic holds on to the icicles and can move around on them. Not for too long, but he can still move around on them for like a good several seconds. And there's no way anyone could do this. Even if you were to assume that the icicles were incredibly sturdy and wouldn't break if a whole lot of weight was applied to them, even then, you would definitely slide off, because they're at an incline that is impossible to grip. So, I don't know how Sonic did it. It's not like it has to make sense, it's a video game, but my goodness. You know what's a movie that I haven't seen in ages? I think it's called American Rabbit. Something that we watched on VHS. I don't remember exactly what it was about. I just know that it was about some superhero rabbit who, whenever he ran really fast, had American red, white, and blue stripes all over his body. And where are the other things that I'm missing in this? Oh, it's probably just that. Ask a question, get immediate answer. Yeah. It was like his duty to protect the American people who are all animals because it was a cartoon. And it was also weirdly dark at times. Not unlike this boss. Just the creepiest... Just look at this face and tell me that you're not creeped out by it. And on top of that, that's its head, and it has a tiny, tiny body. The developers of the Wario games just do not care if anything makes sense, and that's also kind of what's beautiful about the Wario franchise. Okay, I don't know why that worked out the way it did. I don't exactly know what hit me. I don't know if it was the head, I don't know if it was the rock that I was carrying, I don't know if it was the lava. No idea. It didn't look like any of those things hit me, but something must have. Now, the creepiest thing about this boss is yet to come. I'm kind of glad that he follows you down whenever you get frozen, because that makes this boss fight a little bit easier. I need to get a better throw here. Okay, good. Fly down. I don't understand exactly what his body is. I assume that it's supposed to be clouds. Alright, so this boss, you don't want to look in its eyes. I'm going to, because this is what happens. I've never had this actually happen to me while playing, except by intentionally doing it, because I've always thought, you know, he looks very evil looking whenever his eyes are glowing like that. Obviously you don't want to look in them. And also that's what the Spriteling tells you, is don't look in the Winter Winster's eyes. Not gonna look anyone in the eyes, even if I'm being incredibly sincere. But now I want to look in it every time, or look in his eyes every time, because, like, what the heck, man? It's just weird. And it doesn't have any immediate consequences, so that's okay. I'm glad that you don't get hurt immediately whenever you're frozen, too. That's nice. Yeah, so this is basically the DeviantArt boss. Let's throw... No! No! Get out of here, indeed. Alright, I'll have to open up this crater instead. And that does it for Winter Winster Kid. He's basically Medusa, except Medusa is less creepy. Also, just as a side note, I don't know what any of these fist things are in the clear screen after a boss. No idea. I have never known. Maybe I could look this up. I'm not exactly sure what words I would use to look that up. But I have absolutely no clue what determines how many fists you get. I don't know if it's how many, like, different moves that you use against the boss or in the level itself. I don't know if it has anything to do with how many coins you collect or anything like that. I really have no idea. But next time we were going to go into what is probably my least favorite level. I think I said that about the haunted level, but this one is actually my least favorite because it's slow. See you then.